There's a little kite circling around here, and that's what they were looking at. Obviously, they don't want too much attention from vultures.
You know, there's another one at the back. I'm sorry, Peter.
Yeah, no.
Look. Hello.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Seeing if we can get a count higher than 9, but that's what we've got so far.
I didn't even see that one.
Basically, with the first raptors spotting this now, that could attract vultures, and vultures then could often mean more hyenas. But as we saw earlier from the tracks, there has been a lot of hyena attention around here, and it's a nice big pride of lions. So even without the males here, they could still easily fend off any other scavengers. It's a question from Amy, even though it's changed slightly in that time when the question was asked just now, so we were just busy looking at them. That lioness that was holding onto that piece of carcass consistently. Yeah, basically sometimes, you know, it's almost like a dominance behavior as well. So they'll hold onto food and sort of annex that piece of food, and at some stage try and pull it away and eat it, or sometimes it's almost like they try and prevent the others from getting it, and in the process they don't necessarily eat it themselves. They just sort of hold onto it. And also just quickly, very, very glad Karen and Colleen, as I said earlier, Colleen asked a question earlier, and I'm very happy you're on the drive as well, Karen. I know you guys are very passionate and have been very interested in this pride of lions, and very happy that you managed to catch it live.
I wasn't listening earlier. I'm sorry. So if you're gonna explain something again, don't. But this pride of lions, are they? Yeah, where are they? Are they usually around here, or?
Yeah, the Nkuhuma pride, just a very quick background. I was actually just thinking, just adding on to the fact that both Karen and Akila or Kalina on drive. As you could hear the camera snapping away, I got a whole bunch of pictures, and I'll put some of those onto the, make it accessible a bit later for you guys. And I was thinking of writing something, and who knows, it's so exciting seeing lions. Maybe we have 2 blogs about it, but certainly Karen and Kalina, you guys are in a much better position to give the factual sort of timeline of these lions over the last few months than I am, so it would be nice maybe. And then Lishan, you could read that and get a really good idea on it. Not to sidestep your question, but the Nkuhuma pride, they used to be dominant or around constantly within the Western Gauri Buffelshoek area. I mean, they used to get seen by us even in the early days, even driving the tank. We used to see them often. So we saw a lot of these cubs at one stage. There were, what was the total? I think 16 or 19 cubs at one stage. Then when the Mapogos came in, they killed one of the males, one of the 2 males of the Nkuhuma coalition males, and then over time killed a few of the cubs here and there. They killed a lioness at one stage, and the cubs have now gone down to, I think we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubs here, which are now juveniles. They're not cubs anymore, and they've been sort of more fringed and out, sort of pushed out of the area by the Mapogos presence. What is amazing is that a lot of these cubs have survived, or some of them. Typically with the takeover from new males, they would kill all the cubs, but the Nkuhumas have managed to quite smartly outmaneuver and keep away from other males most of the time, and in that way they've sort of become separate from males at the moment, and hopefully with not too much longer to go, these cubs will be big enough that they'll disperse in the male's case, and then the Nkuhumas can be mated with again. And also we haven't seen the Mapogos around here for some time now. In November we saw them once, one male, so they're not really present here as much as they used to be. So maybe the Nkuhumas make their way back into this area, which will of course be something we're all not going to mind at all. In fact, we'll be happy about it, are happy about it right now. Oh, look at that one just resting there.
Yeah, we just got
brilliant.
that.
The one on the right also just sort of using the other one as a pillow almost. And a bit of grooming, licking each other. That's another important thing. We saw it a lot earlier with those 2 in the back. These cats are a little bit dirty from all the feeding, and they'll groom themselves, but they also allo groom, and that shows you again, even though they might growl and snarl and snap at each other while feeding, there's still that very closeness. They help each other stay clean and healthy as well. Obviously they help each other catch food. Okay, just quickly, just for an information point of view, there's one of the younger ones getting up now. It's walking away. It's one of the males. Now basically, also had the 5 males together, so this is a potential coalition that, who knows, we could get dramatic about it down the line. Maybe they could sort of seek revenge back almost. Big coalition of 5 males if they all survive. They're still a bit young, early to say. Audrey, sorry. Just thinking of Aubrey. Audrey just asking if Dozy is still alive. Now Dozy was one of the 2 males, Dozy and Blondie as we used to call them, of the Nkuhuma coalition, and as far as I know he's still around, but he's a solitary male now, so it's a bit of a difficult thing to be dominant, and certainly he doesn't play much of a dominant role necessarily with this pride. And I'll give you my understanding and feeling of these lions, but keep in mind, like I said, especially the way I look at wildlife and always have looked at wildlife, the fact that I've hardly seen these cats over the last year or so. There's bits and pieces of information you pick up from the other guys, which are obviously very good information, but it can sometimes be a little bit grey exactly what it is, as we saw those Manaleti males. So for the factual information as such, I'm going to rely more on Karen and Colleen and everyone else. Audrey, you've also come and drive with us many times before, so we're gonna get some of that. But yeah, 5 males in a coalition is always exciting, even when they're still young. But they've had a hard time about it. These lions, for their age, the young ones, they're about 2 years old now, almost at that age where they should start looking at dispersing. Well, not quite 2 years old, but getting into that age range. They've had a very tough time. They've been through stages where they were very hungry and lean, and you can see it as well. I mean, they're healthy cats and they'll get there, but they started with a very tough break in life, with losing one of their fathers and losing many of their other brothers and sisters. Actually, what was the Karen or Colleen, maybe you guys can help me out quickly. I'm trying to remember now. What was the total amount of young ones at one stage? I think it was 19 or 16. For some reason, those 2 numbers stick in my head, but it was in that region, somewhere between 20 and 16 lions, young ones at one stage. If you guys can remember off the top of your heads, maybe just email Simon with it and just confirm that. All the flies around there as well. All the grass blades around here covered in flies.